What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the best one, Donnie here, back with a brand new episode of Hot Takes, where I give you guys my hot takes on things going on in the pro wrestling world. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, we recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course you already know, the grind is real. And this is news that nobody was expecting to hear, because the last couple months, TNA Wrestling has relaunched, going from Impact Wrestling back to TNA Wrestling, and it seemed like they were picking up a lot of momentum. Hell, I even did a live watch-along to TNA Hard to Kill, and just recently at the Royal Rumble, we saw Jordynne Grace enter the Women's Rumble match, showing that there's a potential working relationship going on with WWE and TNA. And everybody in the pro wrestling industry has been praising Scott D'Amore, including myself. I think that he has done a fantastic job with this rebuild, getting more eyes on this product that lost a lot of momentum years ago. He saved TNA Wrestling. And according to TNAWrestling.com and multiple reports, Scott D'Amore's contract with Anthem has been terminated. And this new guy, Anthony Cicilline, will be the new president of TNA Wrestling. And there's a lot of people in the IWC, including myself, who are very confused on what's going on here, because last time we checked, Scott D'Amore has done a fantastic job with TNA, and this doesn't make sense at all. This departure of Scott D'Amore threw a lot of people off, including myself, and Anthem even posted an article over on TNAWrestling.com, which I will put that in the links down in the description below if you do want to read the article. I don't recommend reading it because they never really gave us a logical reason why they decided to fire Scott D'Amore. And this shocked a lot of people because he's done a fantastic job with this rebuild. I've been praising him for weeks, for months. What he has done for TNA Wrestling has been incredible, and this just doesn't make any sense at all. And it's got a lot of people just wondering what's going on here. And we do have some reports that came out after the article came out on TNAWrestling.com, because according to PW Insider, a number of TNA talent on the Zoom call, when they were informed of Scott D'Amore's departure, realized that during the meeting it was stated that D'Amore had stepped down from the company, which wasn't the case. This didn't sit well with some talent. As one wrestler said, this wasn't the way to start off a relationship with the locker room, especially since so many had connections with D'Amore and the vast majority liked him. The meeting did not give talent a chance to ask any questions, which did not endear some talent to the changes. The beginning of the call, when talents were informed about Scott D'Amore's departure before Anthem executives joined them, was very angry for some talent. There's a lot of people who are not happy about this, including myself, which is why I love this series Hot Takes, because I get to give you guys my hot takes on things going on in the pro wrestling world without being interrupted. And this is a horrible fucking move by TNA Wrestling. Anthem Sports for letting go Scott D'Amore. Let's go back to 1995. Imagine a higher-up decided to let go of Paul Heyman from ECW. What would have happened during that time? ECW obviously went out of business in 2001 when WWE bought them. But ECW, the reason why it was so successful was because of Paul Heyman's vision for Extreme Championship Wrestling. And Scott D'Amore is the guy. He is the heart and soul of TNA Wrestling. He's the one that revived Impact Wrestling when nobody was talking about it, when nobody was covering it, when nobody was attending the shows, nobody was buying the pay-per-views. Everybody thought that Impact Wrestling was going to go out of business and they were going to die. But Scott D'Amore had another vision in mind, and he brought back TNA Wrestling, which really brought a lot of eyes to the product. And now Anthem Sports, now that they have the eyes on the product, they use Scott D'Amore and they fired him, which to me is fucking bullshit, in my opinion. It's fucking bullshit. One thing in professional wrestling that you can't teach is passion. And Scott D'Amore, he was the heart and soul of TNA Wrestling. He brought this shit back to life. And now that we're getting rid of the heart, how the hell is TNA going to continue this momentum? Scott D'Amore is the reason why WWE and TNA were starting to have a working relationship. We got Jordynne Grace with the TNA Knockouts Championship in the Royal Rumble match. And the commentators even put over Trinity's feud with Jordynne Grace on TNA during commentary. Scott D'Amore was doing everything right as the president of TNA, which is why this doesn't make any sense why we are going to fire him. I think there's a lot of people that are very disappointed in this decision by Anthem Sports, especially the TNA locker room, because if you're going to tell these TNA wrestlers who love Scott D'Amore,
"Oh, Scott D'Amore stepped down,"
what impression is that leaving the other talent? You're already lying to them and we haven't even started yet. The first day on the job, we're already lying to the wrestlers. What impression is that going to make for them? Man, I want TNA to succeed just like AEW, just like WWE. All of these wrestling promotions, I want them to strive. I want them to succeed. I want all of these superstars to be making a living doing what they love, because they put their bodies on the line for our entertainment. I want all of these wrestling promotions to succeed, and this is a huge step down for TNA to let go of the heart and soul. Like I said, imagine getting rid of Paul Heyman when ECW was hot. Yes, the talent make the product what it is, but you need to have that leader. And Paul Heyman was that leader for ECW, just like Scott D'Amore is the leader of this new TNA Wrestling. He was doing a great job, and normally a lot of the times when you're doing a great job at your job, you deserve to get praised. You deserve a raise. I think Scott D'Amore, oh man, I think if I were AEW or WWE, I would be on the phone right now with him, because I think that Scott D'Amore is a huge asset wherever he goes. What he did for a dying promotion has been incredible, and I am not shocked if Tony Khan and Triple H and Nick Khan are negotiating right now with Scott, because nobody thought in a million years TNA was going to come back to life. Everybody thought that Impact Wrestling was going to go bankrupt, they were going to go out of business, and they didn't, because of one person, and that was Scott D'Amore, his vision. And we even saw promos that Scott D'Amore cut on TNA television, even when they went off the air. You can't teach passion. Easily, Scott D'Amore is the heart and soul of TNA wrestling in 2024. I'm very nervous on what's next for this company because I do want them to succeed. They picked up a lot of momentum. Hell, I even have a year subscription to TNA Plus. I really hope this doesn't change the product, but I have a gut feeling that this isn't going to be good. And there's going to be a lot of people that are not happy about this. I really hope that this is a Nick Khan situation, because I remember when Nick Khan first started in WWE, a lot of people were very nervous. They thought that he was going to kill WWE, and about 4 years later, he's making $5 billion deals with Netflix, getting praised by the IWC. I don't think that this is going to be the situation for TNA, especially starting off on the wrong foot. This is not good at all. I really hope that Scott D'Amore does get a job somewhere else. I really hope that TNA could bring him back, which I have a feeling it's not going to happen. I think that Scott D'Amore could be a huge asset for AEW, especially Ring of Honor. I think Ring of Honor, they definitely could use somebody like Scott D'Amore running the show. I think that that could really get a lot more eyes over on that product. Tony Khan definitely could use somebody like Scott D'Amore. He could use his knowledge. He can help him. Because right now, AEW has lost a lot of momentum. The attendance is just decreasing. Ratings are decreasing from Dynamite to Rampage to Collision. Pay-per-view buys have, decreased as well. AEW has lost a lot of momentum. And somebody like Scott D'Amore, who literally brought a company back to life, could definitely be a huge asset for AEW if Tony Khan decides to, get help. And I feel like he could definitely use the help from somebody like D'Amore. Even in WWE, we all know how strong they are. And we've saw guys from TNA like Jeremy Borash, Abyss, P.D. Williams, all transition from Impact Wrestling to WWE in producer roles. And I think Scott D'Amore definitely could do that as well. Maybe work with Shawn Michaels in NXT. I think that he definitely deserves a job, and I won't be surprised within the next week or so we find out that Scott D'Amore is working for either AEW or WWE. I really hope that this works out for him, and I really hope that this works out for TNA. I'm not happy about this, and I know you guys aren't happy about this, so let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on TNA letting go of Scott D'Amore. If you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Hot Takes, make sure to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe. Links down in the description below. You can go follow me over on my social medias and my other YouTube channel, Best One Donnie, where I do toy reviews. All the links down below. And of course, this Saturday, new episode of the We Are Wrestling podcast will be coming out. I'm sure Ben, the Lone Ranger, he'll have his thoughts on this. And of course, you already know, we are taking over. Peace.